In this section, we're just going to be doing more of learning to solve equations. Our equations are going to get a little bit longer, a little bit more involved, a little bit more complicated, but our basic rules will still stay. Remember, you can add anything you want to both sides of an equation. That was our addition property. Or you could multiply anything you want to both sides of an equation. That's our multiplication property. We also talked about the distributive property. So if you're having problems with any of those, you might want to go back and review some of those videos. Now we're going to start solving this first equation that says 3x minus 7 equals 4x plus 5. And the first thing that we notice here is that we have x's on both sides of the equation. We really need to get those together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this 3x, remove it from the left side, and move it over to the right side. Remember, I can add anything I want to. So in this case, I'm going to be adding or introducing a negative 3x to both sides. By doing that, it cancels it out on the left-hand side, and what we have left is negative 7 equals x plus 5, because 4x minus 3x is a positive x. Now, we still don't have x alone. We need to remove this positive 5, get that away from x. So the opposite of a positive 5 would be a negative 5. Positive 5 minus 5, those cancel each other out. So what we have left now is negative 12 equals x. In our next example, we have x plus 20 plus 2x equals negative 10 minus 2x minus 15. So we notice, first of all, on the left-hand side that we have x's that we need to combine. Also, on the right-hand side, we have plain numbers that we need to combine. So let's do that first. When we combine x and 2x, we get 3x, and then we still have our plus 20. Here we have a negative 2x that can't combine with anything, and then we have a minus 10 or a negative 10 and a negative 15. So we put those together to get negative 25. Now we have x's on both sides of the equation. So let's remove this negative 2x by doing the opposite, which would be to add 2x to both sides. When we do that, a minus 2x plus 2x, those cancel. So we have 3x plus 2x is 5x. A positive 20 equals negative 25. Now, let's get rid of this positive 20. And if you'll remember, we know that we need to do that first because that is a little bit of an easier step to do. If we were going to divide everything by 5 first to get rid of it away from the x, we'd have to divide every single term by 5. Now that would work out nicely in this problem, but it won't work out so nicely in others. It'll create fractions. So we really want to remove these stragglers, like I call them. So the opposite of a positive 20 would be a negative 20. When we do that to both sides, our plus 20 minus 20 cancels, and we have 5x equals negative 45. Now let's divide both sides by 5 to get that away from the x, and we'll have x equals negative 9. In our next problem, do we see that we have a distribution here? We should recognize that right away. And also we have just plain numbers on the left-hand side that need to be put together. So when we do that, 35 minus 17 is 18, and 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Now we need to get rid of the negative 6 by adding 6 to both sides. When we do that, now we have 18 and 6 is 24 equals 3x. Now we can do our last step, which would be to divide both sides by 3. So 24 divided by 3 is 8 equals 3 over 3. Those cancel out or divide out. All we have left on the right-hand side is an x.